It's okay. So, Hearts of Iron 4. It can be a bit brutal, as we saw for poor El Salvador. I neglected to protect my capital, and yeah, I was forced to capitulate. Cut down before my prime, because other than a disastrous war against Paraguay, I think most of it went pretty well. But maybe that's a spoiler for you if you haven't watched it. Let's jump into a new campaign. I can actually see everything on my screen here. Ah, it looks good. Yes, I'm calling this one the Roar of the Red Dragon because I'm very uncreative, but let's go. New game, starting in 36. There is 39 available, but I prefer to start from the very start. Lovely nations to pick, but I won't be selecting them anytime soon. I might try the Soviet Union one day for something I want to do, but it just feels like a cop-out. When I could use, I don't know, Estonia or Latvia. Or Finland. So many countries in this game, I want to play most of them. But today, we're going to be playing as Bhutan. Iron Man mode engaged, historical focus on. I could turn it off, granted. Throw the world into a bit of chaos. I think we'll do that in a future run though. At the moment I want to keep it on. And I think I'm just going to keep it on regular for now. Whilst I'm still playing as small crappy nations. So, what's this one? Let's hope this works out. Sky Diaz says, Jake, by the way, I love your Hoi 4 streams the most. Tried to watch other streamers, but you have your own interesting charm, utter destruction. Okay, utter destruction is probably the aim of the game here. You might notice that something is missing from Bhutan, like an army. Yeah, we don't start with one. You might notice a severe lack of manpower as well. We don't start with that either. Bhutan is a population of 450,000. If we compare it to our previous start in El Salvador, they had over triple that at 1.4 million. So, yeah, our manpower is going to be utter arse from the very start. But not even having an army, that is really cruel. To top it off, our logistics pile is 1 boot and half a bag of potatoes. We start with 1 gun. A gun, just one. Who are we going to arm with that? I don't even know. So, that seems bad enough, but it can get worse. It can get a lot worse. If you remember the 1 division we started with El Salvador, that is the division design I'm talking about, it was 3 infantrymen, and it costs army experience to change that. We start with 2 infantry divisions. Just making this is going to cost 2,000 manpower of our 6,000 manpower, and I don't have any army experience to alter this, nor do I have anything to alter it with. Don't have any artillery to throw in. I do have mountaineers, but they cost even more in terms of manpower and more training, more lots of things. They even have fewer hit points, although if I were to switch these guys out with mountaineers, I wonder what difference we'd see in everything. Hit points would be down, org would be up. Org would be up by how much exactly? Aye, 10 organization, so mountaineers could well be worth it, except that extra manpower is just something I cannot afford. Yes, 2 battalions, not 2 divisions. Knowing my army lingo is not the best. 1 gun, babby, start, you casual chick. There are not many nations harder than Bhutan in this game. There are harder, granted, but I'm scratching my head to think who. Outside of subjects, because subjects just have it rough. So we have a military factory, 2 civ factories, and just a whole lot of nothing. So let's get this going, shall we? From the very start, yeah, I can't afford to edit this, but I can afford to train some up. I might as well have my entire population starting this whole training. The first one's lucky, he gets a gun. Very lucky indeed. So that pretty much sorts that out. We need to do some research straight away. I want some proper guns, so we're going to research infantry equipment. And I'm also going to research artillery, because that was one of the biggest mistakes I made in El Salvador. I had good reasons to avoid artillery, but they weren't good enough reasons. Infantry without artillery just don't pack the punch that I require. We have 2 civilian factories. One of them gets used for consumer goods, so I can't build with it. Straight away, I need iron. Why do I need iron? Because I'm only producing 6 guns a week, and I would rather produce something like 9 a day. So we go over to trade, see who wants to give us iron. France, yeah, that would be kinda cool, but maybe the British Raj could give us some. They're a lovely neighbour next door, and we would quite like to be cordial. Let's get some trade going on. And that is it, I now have no factories to work with. My only civilian factory that I have to use is being used on trade, and my only military factory is being used producing gun. Not guns, gun. On top of that, I need to think what to focus on. Now, in El Salvador, we went naval effort from the start because we knew we would have to naval invade to proceed past the Panama Canal. That is not something that is going to be relevant at all for us since we have no coastline, ergo no navy. And really horribly, nothing researched in navy. If I want to have boats at all, I've got to research everything, much like El Salvador did. Submarines actually seem pretty good even if they were just for the cheapness. But oh well, never mind that. We are researching what we can to make our army better, and I think I want to make a beeline for the research slot, because lack of research hurts so much. Sadly, all of these are going to help us out approximately nothing, but I need that extra research. But I also really want that political power. 120 would help us out a fair bit, because I need to make my way down here and down here, preferably in unison. We will be building up political power slowly but surely, and I need 150 to do what I want to do. But I really want that research slot. It'll essentially take 2 years to get it. But by the same token, I really want... Jinx, I just want everything, it's hard. I honestly can't decide here. This will give me... Nah, it's not worth it. We'll go down this one first. And really, that's it. Speed 4, kick back and watch. Speed 5, rather. There we go, 9 guns a day. And the need for them is going down. I would love to be able to produce more units, but I simply can't. I have no manpower to do that with. Jake, can you get a research slot via the tree to the left? No, there's no research slot here. At the very end you get special forces, this is all aviation, naval, and there are 2 extra research slots to be had here. One I can just get, the other I can get if I get 50 factories, and this one is for if I'm in a faction and at war. We were able to get all 5 as El Salvador. So the New World is its own battlefield, and it's not one that we're going to have to worry about, because there's no... Well, United States guarantee everything here. So if I attack them, then the United States will get involved. If I was one of them, like I was in El Salvador, I could go on a rampage inside the Americas, at least until America researched their Pax Americana, or whatever that focus was called. Jake, when will you be playing as Poland? There are so many nations to play, and I can't just play them all. Not instantly, at least. So thankfully the game runs like lightning in the early game, so I can just sit back and get my focuses done. So can Germany, it seems. They're remilitarizing the Rhineland. Nobody's going to step up and stop them. So yeah, I just want that research slot so badly. We're going to be getting a bunch of civilian factories this way. I think what I want to do with them is build 1 military factory, if indeed I can eventually get it done. There's no guarantee that I will, but at least I'll be working on something whilst I have them. What are your plans with Bhutan to succeed? this Smimmy guy, they're so pretty cute with how much they think I'm going to succeed with this. First off, I can't do jack until I take down Tibet. Tibet start with better divisions, they start with 2 divisions, and... ooh, Jings, my divisions are trained up already. That's rather nice. But I need my divisions to be better than this. I don't know how much better I can make them, but I'll try. There's nothing I can do with them though. I could deploy them and have them train up, but I'm not sure if that's worth my time at the moment, since there's no hope of me going to war anytime soon. I can't just EU4 get go hyper blob from the start this one. The reason is that I am neutral. Yeah, maybe I should have gone over that. I am disgustingly non-aligned 100%, so that means that if I want to declare war, I'd have to justify a goal, and that requires 50% world tension. And that world tension won't hit 50 until the Germans go for the Poles, as a general idea of the figure there. Could be later, could be earlier. The glorious leader of Tibet here, Jampel Yesht Gyaltsin. Quite the guy, isn't he? We're gonna have to knock him down. Knock him down hard. Tibet look a lot bigger than us, and they are. However, not really, because it's just one state. Yes, it has almost 10 times our population, but it's got the same resources as us. 2 bits of tungsten, useful in producing that artillery, which, on that note, I can now produce. I just don't have the factory to produce it with, but I'll get around to it. But with all that done, I can now focus on, well, what exactly? I would like some better weapons, but I have to think very carefully about the here and the now. What is going to help me straight away? Getting Doctrine would help. Would give me a lot more soft attack, which is all that matters at this point. But then you would also be good. Support battalions, I'm a long way away from being able to have any of those. Yeah, I really need to focus on the here and the now, but then again, this is very fast and will allow me to produce more guns. More guns are better guns. Of course, more guns won't help if I don't have the people. Spanish Civil War has erupted. I wonder who'll win this time. I wonder if someone will win this time. Attrition, recovery rate, power. We went with mobile doctrine before. No, we'll go with superior. Jake, doesn't mass assault give you more recruitable population? Wouldn't be that good given your lack of it. I don't know exactly how much it'll give me. Why don't we have a look through it? I thought I tried looking through it before, but I didn't see how much we'd get. So what do we have? That's reinforce, out of supply, entrenchment. Spanish Civil War has erupted. I wonder who'll win this time. I wonder if someone will win this time. Attrition, recovery rate, org. So really you're only looking at 5% recruitable population, and you could get that if you went down to desperate defense in mobile everything. Right. We need to do this. We need to change away from neutrality, because neutrality is absolutely disgusting. So we need a communist revolutionary inside our government. There may be those in the government itself which support such ideas, increases the chance for an internal support, or we must get the people. I don't care about the people. The government is the one to rule, so we shall go down that path. Jake, nuke the British. Nukes are a ways away, especially for Little Bhutan. So, we saw this before, and astonishingly it was the Republicans that came out on top, probably thanks to decent Soviet support. We'll see what goes on for Republican Spain this time. In the end, it was very inconclusive, because even though the nationalists were beaten back horribly, they were never fully defeated, so they did get a bit of a rebound. But it looks like the nationalists are taking advantage of the pocket they have up in Navarra. Give it your all, folks. Jake, goddamn commies. What faction are you planning on joining? Good question. Good question. Ugh. I may join the Comintern, but it feels like a bit of a cop-out to join someone else's faction. Then again, I could need the protection. We'll see how this goes. I'm playing it very much by ear. I don't have a plan for this, with the exception of what I'm doing at the moment, which is making my way down. Right, we got our 2 factories, so we are ever so slowly going to build this. It'll be done in January 39. All I can do is shake my head at that. That is horribly disappointing. And I need to think how to deal with Tibet. I could deal with them if I simply have more divisions. They only have 2. If I step in with 3, hell, maybe I should train up another one. They won't have full manpower, but at least it'll be a division with which I can use. Got our machine tools, but I think that's about as far as we're going to go with that for now. I want better weapons, but I also want better artillery. I want better everything. It's so difficult though. What does one even do from here? Well, I do need support weapons. Let's do it. Jake Bhutan Raj. Jake, you should have a 5-year plan. A 5-year plan. I don't know where I'm going to be in 5 years. I could well be annexed in 5 years. Speaking of getting annexed swiftly, Republican Spain not doing so well in the face of the nationalists today. And if we have a strong united Iberia who go on to join the Axis, then Europe's days could well be numbered. The German Reich, they did well cleaving through both France and Poland, but when it came to Iberia, they really stalled last time. I think the nationalists have this one in the bag. For the Republicans to lose after that would be ridiculous. The name Republican Spain always throws me off there. Jake, deploy your divisions, train for experience, add artillery, kill Tibet. It is an idea to deploy them and get them training, but they will take attrition if I do that. 6% attrition that I'm not sure I can afford in any way, really. Plus, when I add artillery... Okay, no, not cancelling all of that, heavens no. Nope, I'm not going to do that just yet. What I need to do is add artillery to them, since we have researched that. But if I add artillery here, which granted would help out in a big way, it also costs 500 manpower that, lo and behold, I do not have. Organization gets hit, but soft attack goes up remarkably. I could, alternatively, throw them in as support. Less of a strain on the manpower. Also doesn't give them quite as good a soft attack bonus, but it is still a good amount. And I just don't have the manpower to give them any more than that. Well, I want to do that, but it costs 10 army experience, which I do not currently have. Okay, the more I think about it, you are not going to be available for me. If I'm lucky... Okay, I'm not going to be lucky enough, but I will add them as support for all of them, I think. That's going to cost me 10. Yeah, I've got something resembling a plan here. But it means that once I get my extra research slot, I'm going to have to research army effort to get some army... Oh, it only gives you 5 army experience. Jings, that's bad. Marxist sympathizers in government. Although they may be seen as traitors, these dissident voices may be the ones to ensure a relatively bloodless transition. So because we're neutral, these communist ideas are able to flourish that bit better, and that's what we're going down here. Alright. 80 days away from getting something that can resemble technology. Jake, can you build factories to turn Albanians into fuel? Sadly not, and I think the Italians are going to beat us to that punch anyway. So I need 10 army experience. I could get a theorist. Who'll give us that daily, so in 100 days we'll have the extra 5. Also speeds up land research. But then again, I also really want some actual manpower. Manpower is actually probably the better thing to go down here. That'll give me some actual numbers to recruit with. So I think, yeah, I'm going to have to go down limited conscription instead. At least this way, I can get a few more. By a few, I maybe mean 2, but at least we have some divisions this way. So these are steps we're taking that our neighbours are not, because they're all disgustingly... Okay, they actually did go down limited conscription. They all going down limited conscription, except China, full of disgusting volunteers. I want everything, I just can't have it. Wow, since Jake streams Hoi 4, the timeouts here have risen. This happens every time I stream something new, or any time the viewer count really rises up in that way. There are always new people that come in that think this is somewhere they can just throw their cancerous Twitch culture like in all other channels. But thankfully high viewership numbers are not a priority for this channel, so I'm very happy to see those dissidents smacked down and put in their place. And people will complain, they always complain. I have inboxes full of people whinging about why they were timed out or banned, and that just goes on to reflect exactly why they were timed out and banned. So sitting as a neutral country with 1 state and 2 provinces doesn't give us all that much influence in the world from the start, but hey, we're working on it. I need that research slot so badly. Then I'll see about the army experience. Support weapons are ours. This is us building up. As soon as we can, we're going to go on a rampage around the area. That said, I probably should be thinking about what I want to go from here. Support battalions would be very nice, so I managed to get myself some recon or really anything around here that would help out. I love all of these guys. I want to smack them all onto my divisions, but I know that I simply can't. I need that factory output. But does that help me here and now? There's another question. Yeah, it will get me more guns, but guns was never the... They were never the choke point, it's always been population. What I need are better guns. Comparing the artillery next to each other, we have considerably better artillery here, better breakthrough, same hard attack, but better soft attack, same piercing, but a lot better defense. That sounds rather nice. Let's get our interwar artillery. I can't be sure, but I think that's what gave our friends quite a bit of an advantage in their defense. They had artillery, whereas we did not. That's a complete guess. I didn't check. I don't know how to check. Jake, did you delete some of the VODs on Twitch? I did not. Mountain troops should be pretty decent around that area, Jake. This entire area is desert, so no. The only mountains are in my own provinces. Yes, Nepal is full of mountains, but I've got a plan for them. Boy, do I have a plan for them. Excuse me. I could really do with 1500 bits of equipment. Rubber wouldn't help me out, mind. What I really want to do is start producing some artillery, but I simply can't. I have the resources to do so, I just don't have the military factories to do so. But hey, I'll have that military factory in 39, so it's not all a complete loss. Once I get that extra research slot, army effort would be useful, since that's one of the only ways I can actually get myself a... No, I have to get the extra military factories. There's no other choice. It's the same choke point. I want everything, but I can't have anything. Whew. Hi Jake, what happened to the South America campaign? Oh, it's all available on the VODs and it'll soon be on YouTube as well. So... Liberia is improving relations with the Republic in Spain. Liberia, you are a mystery. That's the wrong word I was looking for. What is it? Enigma. So the nationalists have the backing of both the Reich and Italy. I guess those cancel each other out in usefulness. But you've got the Soviet Union again helping you out. Thank God, extra research slot. Yeah, I need to produce some artillery. We need extra factories for that. But now I can go researching a touch more. Ah, this feels so good having 3 research slots. We'll feel better having 3 research slots off the start. I think the Reich start with 4 or 5. How horrific. So superior firepower is ours. I will hold off on delay because once I get 1 military factory, I'm going to get the doctrine, which will reduce this by half. Then again, I could just start with it now and get this one later. Always good to have doctrine research going. I'll use a 50% bonus on the later ones. It's either now or later, so we'll go for it. Besides making Bhutan great, any other particular goal this time? Trying to nuke the USSR, perhaps? We're the ones going red, but the Soviet Union is the biggest big bad nearest to us, so perhaps that should be our goal. The goal will be considered victory if I nuke Moscow. Occupying Moscow, I guess, is an alternative, but I will need to nuke somewhere in the Soviet Union. Jake, upgrade basic equipment to equipment 1. Damn, how did I forget about that? Thanks for that. It's going to make it go a lot slower, ka-ching, but at least we're getting some real equipment now. Jinx, how long was I wasting away on that? Thanks for the heads up. Infantry equipment 1 is just so much better. But now what our units will be doing is replacing their old crappy guns with my new, significantly superior guns. They're all well trained up, but when I add artillery to them, they're going to need to be further trained. Jake, slow down a bit, you sound a little caffeinated. I'm actually all choked up with gold. Right, I need this. I need that army experience. But I also need more factories. 5 army experience won't save me from the situation here, but what I can do is get that military theorist who will start giving me army experience, one of the only ways I'm going to be getting any. Extensive conscription is definitely what I'm going to want. It'll double the amount of recruitable population I have, but I need to be fascist or communist. End war. Go figure. Okay. No, I need that army experience to actually get those units in there. And now I am finally producing artillery. Not much of it, but... oh, actually that is a horribly low amount. Still, that production efficiency will go up. Let's produce as much as we can, because we actually have guns, we don't have the artillery. Jake, yeah, I've got the Army Experience Advisor, we also have that. I want this improved artillery, but we're going to have to wait till 39 for it. How convenient, that's when our other military factory will be finished. I'm going to want these as well, there's so much that I want. Let's get some half-decent amount of research speed going on if we can. It's halfway tempting, since I don't have any actual resources, to do an export focus all the way up to free trade. So factory output, research time, construction speed, it'll all get better, but it'll cost me my precious PP, which I just don't have. Wouldn't it be better to have all your factories producing artillery, since your infantry also all the rifles they need? They do have all the rifles we need, however, there's a couple of problems with that. One, I want to actually build up some production efficiency here. Two, I want to replace what we have with infantry equipment 1, because they're all just ragtagging around with not infantry equipment 1. Look at these guys, they have 143 basic infantry equipment. So everybody has about 3/4 of the crappy guns. I need to get as much of the good guns as I can. And that will be our early advantage over our Asian neighbours, because I strongly doubt to bet, even if they have those better guns, they simply do not have the resources to be producing better ones. Unless they started importing, but then they won't be building up. No, they're going down doctrine effort. It's a shame, I would quite like these guys to spend their time building up their provinces, so it's better for me to take. Goodbye, Amelia Earhart. You might be missed. Oh my. Exercising gives you experience too, Jake. Maybe trade attrition for army experience. Attrition, no. Simply not. I can't afford to be losing my manpower, can't afford to be losing my precious artillery. I'm holding off on that. So we got our army experience. We could get a touch more army experience this way, but it seems we're getting plenty from our advisor. I need those military factories. But I also need political effort, but I think military factory is going to take the cake on this one. Or I could go down here and start getting added communism support. No, gotta get those factories. Once I have 10 army experience, yeah, I'm going to throw in that artillery. Marco Polo. I am on the fence though, because yes, I could just add artillery here. It would give 40 soft attack. If I added it here, it would give 21, so it would give about double, but not for double the cost in everything else. 36 artillery there, 24, so 50% more, but considerably more punch. The manpower cost is horrible though, 500 a pop. I'd only be able to give 3 of these a reasonable sum of artillery. Tricky. Training time is 120 days. I'm going to need that amount of time anyway. Okay, I kind of have an idea here though. What if I duplicate you and I stick you with infantry artillery, and I make you the one that has some artillery? So you're the ones that are actually going to have to provide the punch, but that's okay. The other ones can just run around essentially as meat shields. Jake, wait, is there a difference in combat artillery and support artillery and manpower cost? Yes, there is, but also in the amount that they can do. So 300 manpower, 24 artillery, or 500 manpower, 36 artillery, but a much bigger punching capability. Where's the symbol for artillery? Do we even have one? Does not look like we do, what a shame. Oh well, you get to be the star. I don't really want to click this button because I don't have much army experience to spare, but I think I will. Aye, what's the worst that could happen? So I'm actually going to cancel some of these to get the manpower I need to train some of these. Thinking about it logically, I probably should have switched the infantry to be the inf art, and then I would have recruited these guys and trained them faster, but you can't have it all. We'll get that artillery that they need eventually. And look at that, I got a spare 10 manpower. That's astonishing. Thankfully we produced this reasonably fast. Getting an extra factory on there will make it go all that bit faster. I have a staggering 2 tungsten, so I have enough to get 2 factories going reasonably with this. Any extra factories I guess I will throw onto making more infantry equipment. So that's acceptable. Now how are things going where war is actually happening? Republican Spain... Ooh! Soldiers desert to communist partisans. Capitalists and nationalists would have you spill your blood for them on the front lines, turning brother against brother over disputes that do not concern the working man. Instead of taking up arms against workers who struggle abroad, raise them against their oppressors, and overthrow the tyrants. The army, usually a bastion of patriotism and loyalty, has proven not to be immune to the communist propaganda spreading rapidly in Bhutan. Soldiers are deserting, refusing to fight for their... What soldiers? All 25 of them. Sometimes going as far as joining partisan movements. Perhaps they are merely fighting for a different Bhutan. 50% extra in loyalty of, or rather popularity of communists. And, oh, recruitable population minus 0.2%. That could have some dire consequences. Well, we'll see how that works out for us. Still, communists seeming fairly popular. Yikes. Good guy Germany is just doing his air innovations. There's... hold on. He's got a very good opinion with Hungary. What are you doing, nationalists? At least you have Zaragoza nice and safe, but you're getting yourself pocketed out in Andalusia. Not too big of a deal because you have good supply here. You got 3 cities and a port. But still, you're going to need to punch a lot harder than that. Chings, now I have more research than I know what to do with. Happy days. Maybe I should just go down atomic research from the very start. Or maybe that would be the daftest idea ever. I need to produce more, but I also want these. These will be done, or these will be available to me soon enough. I would like to be able to produce support, but I don't have the resources to do so. I want that as well, but that's a long ways away. Are you going Communist Bhutan, Jake? That is the red in Red Dragon. So there we go, the Nationalists did win out. They actually won out quite early here. So they get a chance to repair their nation, essentially. And I strongly suspect they are going to be joining the Axis when the time comes. The time has not currently come, but we'll see how that goes. Division speed, division defense. We're not going armored quite so fast. These are all nasty. What do we have? Political power gain and ideological drift defense. 5% political power gain as well. That seems really rather nice. So that would give me an extra 0.5 per day. So in 10, 100... in rather a lot of days. Oh wait, no, it would give me 0.1 per day. So in what, 1,500 days he'd pay off for himself? Something about that isn't adding up in my head, but what do I know? National unity won't help me when I'm so tiny. Sadly, I don't have the guy that will increase the speed of producing nuclear factories. I'm going to be producing small arms. Researching them faster would be great. 10% as well, that's not to be sniffed at. But lynchings. I just want it all. And in the end, I'm going to need this political power. But I do like artillery. I like it all, but in the end, there's mostly small arms to research. And speaking of, we're still a wee bit away from doing that. And a ways away from doing that. The doctrine's alright. I could get that engineering done, it'll save research time down the line. Or I could do this. Jake, sorry if this has been asked a lot, but what happened to the El Salvador game? People are going to keep asking this. The logical thing to do is go to the VOD. But sadly I died. I got freedomed by the United States. It actually wasn't specifically the United States, it was Mexico. And I'm shaking my fist at Germany because it was them who killed me. Paraguay also killed me, but that was due to me poorly fighting and them fighting surprisingly well. Gotta keep a keen eye on Tibet. I don't want them building up too badly. Alright, swell. We can now actually start producing some artillery. Strangely enough, of course we're exporting one of our tungsten. So that hurts us here. Well, that's a shame. I'm wondering if I might be better off just doing it like that. Because this hurts production efficiency. And production efficiency will grow slower. Might be better just to get more weapons. How are we doing on the upgrades there anyway? They're all infantry equipment 1. Not quite. These guys are not so hot. You get the higher reinforcement. It's a while before I can declare war because we're still disgusting neutral. Extra armaments, political effort. Still want more military factories. Can't deny that. I want it all. I'll go down the equipment effort when I can actually get new weapons out of it. 50% research bonus, huh? So when I go down this way, it'll drown me in political power and communism support. National unity. Sadly, it doesn't give me the... Ooh. I wonder if I could go down this while I'm still neutral. Because the recruitable population there... Oh, it's so good. I wonder if I can. Sadly though, I think it would increase fascist... Yeah, daily fascism support goes up dangerously that way. What a shame. Oh well, we'll take the political power for now. Could you explain the split in the superior firepower doctrine tree? I don't understand which is Campanis and which is Line Battalion. I haven't looked at it myself, but why not? So we have integrated support, so what do we have? All support battalions get extra soft attack and org. Interesting. Or the line artillery we use have better recovery and better soft attack. Since I'm going to be using artillery as a main unit, then I'm probably going to be doing that. So yes, line artillery. But this one shows support battalions. Yes, so all supports. No, I think we're going to go down dispense support since I want to punch harder. Shock and awe, and then either air-land battle or shock and awe. Soft attack. Ooh, I like reconnaissance. All infantry, motorized and mechanized. I do hope to go down the mechanized route here. All frontline battalions, organization, air support. I won't be really having much air support. Tanks and armors. I think it's going to be shock and awe for us. But that's a long way away. So the notion that the communist movement represents the people has certainly gotten wind in its sails in Bhutan, where the public support for the Communist Party has increased rapidly in the past months. But those who call for a revolution are no longer a disparate collection of guerrillas and disgruntled labour unions. The group behind the call for revolt is organised enough to form a government if they succeed. It's hardly difficult. Bhutan is not the most populous of areas. Probably one guy and his mum could stand for election there. Revolution is inevitable, the inevitable can wait, or we can change to communist right away. Political power gain plus 10%, and we lose the communist revolutionaries, which is rather good. We start a civil war, though. Sure. Well, that didn't go so hot. I don't think a civil war really happened there. Okay, that's interesting. What happened? Well, for some reason that didn't actually change me to communist. Very strange. Maybe civil wars need at least 2 states. Possibly, but... don't know. Maybe it was because I had no army. Well, bloodless revolution. Bit of a trade-off here. Which one do I go down? I think I might go continuing down the armament effort. But if I get too many military factories, then I won't be able to have any civ factories to trade with. So, tricky. Yeah, maybe an army is needed. Jake, you should be able to go communist without civil war via coup soon. We'll see. So I don't... This one does nothing on its own, but it will allow us to go down these. But if I went nationalism, then I could make my way down here. I would always have this extra fascism support coming in, but as long as I have here, you'll be balanced out with him. Oh well, it's risky, but I would love that recruitable population. Could still modify the government though. Well, once I eventually have an army that I can deploy, which, yay, I do. And they actually have reasonable infantry equipment. They don't have the basic stuff anymore. So that's good. We'll get our inf arts deployed. We'll get you. There's no reason not to deploy you as well. Let's actually click the deploy button. High time, we've got a commander for you. Who are you? Tremorn Shatra. And, well, we've only got 5 guys, but thankfully I've got 5 names to rename them with. So we're going to have Shitatsu Sho. We're going to have Atrakor. Now, I left these guys to die last time. I hope they survive this time around. What else we got? We got Shadow. Lebanon. Sol. Crazy names. And someone actually wanted themselves to be called Meow. Well, there we go. Now, I don't know if it's going to cost manpower to train you guys. Let's find out. They're just exercising, but if my manpower starts going down, I know what's happening there. I don't mind losing equipment to train you guys, but losing manpower is unacceptable. Continuing to do well with all this. I'd love to get my construction going, but I need all of this. Okay, my manpower is going up, so it looks like exercising is not causing them to actually lose manpower loss. Or rather, losing manpower. They'll lose infantry equipment, that's fine, I produce plenty of it. You know, I hope that event can fire again and actually cause a revolution proper. Jake, how did you get the game? It's not out yet. I worked on this game. Jake, naming divisions will make you attached. You need to be able to throw them into the wolves for the sake of the motherland. I find it difficult to disagree with that notion, but I'm still naming them. I said I would. When you go sellout, you've got to go full sellout. Oh, that pathetic amount of... Okay. Politics will change. Communist becomes the ruling party. Nice. Now we're talking. Enter Union of Red Dragons. We're now communist. Excellent. Thanks to that communist politician of ours. Well, that rules out any chance of going down the nationalist part of the tree, but maybe that's for the better. If you're going red, you might as well go full red. Also means we're going to have to start getting our war goals going. It's going to be expensive, it's going to take a long time, but Tibet are going to have to go down. Thankfully, Tibet have not been building up, so we have 5 to their 2. Granted, their 2 are better than ours, but I'm sure we'll be okay. We'll get that going, and I shall also focus on Nepal. They also have 2. I reckon we can destroy them. Anschluss of Austria, nothing too surprising there. I guess we should start going down our internationalism focus since we're locked out of nationalism. So we can make our way down to maybe someday getting technology sharing happening. We get out of this some political power, quite a lot of political power, but sadly no... sadly no recruitable population. Well, needs must. Another coup d'etat going on in the world, but this time the Anschluss. Austria has some really nice land to take over. Fairly well built up. Resources are a bit bleh, but the population is nice. How I wish I had population. Thankfully, Tibet is home to 3 million people that would only be too happy to be pressed into my army, and hopefully the same will apply for Nepal. Jake Dragon isn't red, it's white. Ah! I like to think they just reversed it there. I wonder what the 3 stars mean. Is this not the same guy, but he put on a little pin there? He's like, I'm your leader now. I totally threw out all the neutrals. See, he hops over the border to Nepal and puts on his tie, and then he's like, yep, ready to rule. Well, his little bow tie, jings. See Lord Linlithgow, he's got a bit of style and suave to him. Trying to think if there's anything else worth researching, and we're not going to be going down tanks, ships, or aircraft anytime soon. Speed is great, but defense is also good. Speed is going to be pretty important when fighting across all this. I really hope Japan nail China. Not too hard. Actually, the best thing I could hope for is that they stall, and then I can come in and pick up the pieces. So, defense or speed? Sadly, there's no attack. Your attack, but you're only for armored divisions, of which I have none. None of these guys are particularly well suited for me. Could go down industrial or electronics research. I think I will end up going down electronics. I want it all. And I will probably partially mobilize straight away. Heck, I could even go war economy. There's no reason not to. I'm not building up military... Sorry, I'm not building up civilian factories. And it makes it faster. So sure, let's go with war economy. Let's keep building up what we need. Boy, I want those, but not yet. Feels nice to produce stuff. I could do with an extra factory to produce more guns, but they're not necessary at the moment. Jake, what other countries will get custom focus trees in the near future? I do not have an answer to that, and if I did, I certainly couldn't share it. Excuse me. James. We question Tibetan sovereignty. As I recall, it was a Tibetan that came down to Bhutan and actually united the fiefdoms there, but what do I know about history here? Integrated or dispersed support. I think it's going to be dispersed since we have line artillery. Increases soft attack, which is nice. Support battalions get better org. We get overwhelming fire. We get overwhelming fire either way. Aye, sure. It's going to take a while, but it's important. Okay, notice how he's already on my border. I don't like that. But we'll get ourselves trained up, and then we are going to come in and destroy Tibet. Sadly, they're working on things that I don't want them to work on. I'd rather they built up their provinces like I did. 9 unlocked slots. Only one of them from what I'm actually building, and boy are we building that. Hey, it'll be done this year, actually. That's astonishing. We might be at war before that, though. It'll be done in August. I'm making a bit of an assumption here. How fast can I nail Tibet? Because I want to be able to nail Nepal shortly after. Tibet could take a while, though. It's a big country. Got our international focus. I could go with political correctness, or I could actually get more of those guns. Or more of those everything. And I do want everything. I could get our nuclear effort done so early. Imagine that, little Bhutan here with a nuclear program. Okay, I will need those guns one way or t'other. But a couple of civvy factories could actually help out in ways that I'm not currently thinking of. Oh, let's work our way down here. All roads lead to Rome, right? Jake, is the total population lower or higher than the South American nation? Oh, it's about a third of what I had before, maybe a quarter. What are we? We are 460,000 or so. They are 1.4 million. So yeah, bit of a difference there. Japan versus China. Okay, I should have taken weapons focus because I want weapons 1. That's a shame though, I'm going to have to wait a wee while on it, but it's better to get the bonus and do it a lot faster. Weapons 2 rather. Very, very important. I want that too. I just want everything. Is that too much to ask? Still a while away from that. I could get construction, although I don't construct much. It's going to take a while, but I think I'll get some mechanical computing going on. Reinforcement rate would also be nice. Just everything would be nice, but what a difference it makes having 3 research slots so soon. Jake, do you ever get tired of Paradox games? I'm guessing not, since if I was going to, it would have happened by now. Okay, so we're all tooled up now. Yes, I can keep exercising for more army experience, but I don't think that's necessary at this time, so please stop exercising. I would like one of you to protect this one province. It's mountains, so you'll have an overwhelming advantage even if they come at you. Otherwise, we're going to move out, and here's the thing, he only has 2 units. He's going to have 1 protect his capital and 1 on the border. He simply can't afford to be coming at me with more. I think I can start justifying on Nepal now, though. Nepal has a good amount of population that I really want to press into my service. Should essentially double our manpower when we take over Tibet and Nepal. How I long for that. Yeah, I need that equipment effort. I'll use it on weapons too, and then I'll probably get another one and use it on improved artillery, because that better artillery gives so much better defense. I'm glad that we filled all of our need from here, and our logistics have fleshed out a bit. It's a bit more than just a boot and half a bag of potatoes. Good, I should actually be able to get weapons too before I'm paying anything ahead. I want that as well, though. Still want everything. It's tempting to get some radios. It's also tempting to get some motorized. But I can use the focus on that on mechanized. Oh, I'm going to take this route now. I will need that support eventually. I will want to trickle back from my... I'm going to have to think this one through better. I really liked what I did before, where I produced a lot of extremely cheap... oh, that's right, I'll duplicate you again and call you the military police. Now, the better name was the harsh treatment. And what I do is I just put you in with cavalry. Just 1 division of cavalry. Expensive to make this, but it's only 1,000 manpower. I think it'll be a touch more when I have military police attached to it as well. I might be able to check that, I'm not entirely sure. Mil police, manpower 500. So for 1,500 manpower I get a division that can move swiftly and suppress. We actually have the suppression here, suppression bonus of 20%. That's odd though, I thought they gave base amount of suppression. Perhaps that's been changed. No suppression.